Hello everyone, very good morning to all of you. I'm engineer Yatika, working as an assistant professor in CTU University, School of Engineering and Technology. So today I will tell you about Android app development. Have you ever wondered how these mobile apps are developed? Today, in this era of digitization, all of us know that the advent of Android apps, web apps, iOS apps is increasing day by day. Everyone is using a phone. Okay, everyone is engaged in using these mobile apps, doing e-transaction, watching videos, social media, social marketing. Okay, so in this advent of digitization, one must know how these Android apps are developed. So I'm expertise in mobile app development, full stack development, web development. So today I will tell you the basics of how these apps are developed, how these apps are published on the Play Stores, how we can earn money from these apps. Okay. So first of all, the platform, which platform is required to develop Android apps. If I talk about the platform is Android Studio. Android Studio is a powerful IDE, integrated development environment for developing Android applications. So what is IDE? Integrated development environment. So IDE is basically a software or a text editor or a mobile app developer studio, okay, where we can develop our apps, where we can write, run, debug, test our code. Okay, so basically we need a software where we can deploy and we can run our code. We can test our code with the help of emulator, that how our code will run in the Android apps on real time. Okay, so Android Studio is a powerful IDE to develop these apps. It is a product of Google. So it provides us very much tools and APIs to develop these apps. Okay, so the site is developer.android.com, from where we can download and install Android Studio. Okay, after downloading and installing, we can easily develop our apps. We can collaborate with other our developers so that they can help us in code. Okay, we can integrate, we can deploy our, we can upload our code on the GitHub. It provides GitHub integration also. So the platform is Android Studio. And see guys, from time to time various versions of Android has come. Okay, if I talk about versions of Android, it starts in these are named alphabetically, and starting from Astro, Beta, Cupcake, Donut, Eclairs, Froyo, Gingerbread, Honeycomb, Ice Cream Sandwich, Jelly Bean, Kit Kat, Lollipop, Marshmallow, Nugget. So various versions have come from time to time. See, the developer has to remain updated. The developer must know what is in trend. Okay, because nowadays Flutter is used to develop Android applications. Okay, so if I talk about Flutter, and guys, you don't have to flirt with the language, you have to love the language. So if you are a keen, you have a keen interest in developing the apps, you should go for the Flutter. Why Flutter? Because Flutter is a language that help us to develop Android app also, iOS app also, and web app also. So with the single code, you can develop application for these 3 platforms. So basically you can develop apps for every screen. Okay, so whether I talk about web, whether I talk about iOS operating system, Mac operating system, and I talk about Android operating system. So the latest is the Flutter. But before going to directly to the Flutter, you should know how to use Java and XML for Android development, and you should know the programming languages, Java for functionality and XML for layout. Okay, layout means user interface. User interface, that is the design of your app, the buttons, the text, the spinner, the checkbox, the drop down, navigation drawer, autocomplete text view. Okay, so these are basically the layouts, containers, okay, that you need to develop in the XML. XML is extensible markup language, that is extension of HTML. The difference, the major difference is that the HTML has predefined tags like H1 tag, P tag, BR tag, div tag, section tag, pre tag. Okay, so these are predefined tags, but in XML we can define our own tags. Okay, so we can, the design is made in the XML, that is extensible markup language, and the functionality part, that is what will happen if we click on a button, what will happen if we start the app. First, the loading screen. The loading screen is called the splash screen. Splash screen, that mainly contains the logo of your app, that tells you about what the app is about. Like we have, when we open the Gmail, it shows us the message icon, that is the in the loading screen. So that we called as splash screen, that appears for few seconds, for about 3 to 4 seconds, and then home screen comes. Okay, here the concept of thread are used. Threads, because we are making sleep the thread for few seconds or say few milliseconds, then we are moving to the home tab, okay, or a home page. So if I talk about functionality, like on the click of the button, what will happen? On the click of the drop down, what will happen? And if I click on the navigation drawer, okay, which icons will pop up, which fields will pop up. So that task is done with the help of Java, okay, Java programming language. So both of these are very important to learn if you want to learn Android app development. Okay, so if I talk about Android Studio, the software was first announced by the Google in May 2013, and remember, it is open source. Open source means easily downloadable, and it is free of cost. Okay, so one can download and install on any operating system and free. Any operating system, whether you are operating on Mac, whether you are using Windows, whether you are using Linux, so it is open for all. Okay, and it has replaced Eclipse ADT bundle. Earlier we were using Eclipse Android development tool for the development of these apps. Nowadays Android Studio is used, and you can easily download it from the Google. So Android Studio has eased our work because it is a Gradle build system that provide GitHub integration also, that provide us Google Cloud messaging also, and we can easily automate, build, test and deploy our apps. We can see with the help of the emulator how our apps will work on the physical device. Okay, so with the help of Android virtual device, that is emulator, that is present in the Android Studio only, we can easily test our apps. So it is basically a code editor that assists, and it also assists when you press Control plus spacebar. It will give you the suggestions, like if you type, if you want to type autocomplete text view or a button, if you write only BU and press Control plus spacebar, it will give you suggestion that what you want to write. So this will assist you in writing the good neat code also. Okay, so this is a very good code editor, and it also, after developing the app, it also help us to build the APK file. .apk file that is transferred from your Android Studio to your mobile device for testing in your Android phone, and secondly very useful for uploading it to the Google Play Store. Because why we are making this app, ultimately we want to upload it on the Google Play Store. We want that end user should use our app. We want that our app gets publicized, okay, or we can earn from our app. So the file that is transferred from our Android Studio to the Google Play Store for the submission or for easily downloading and installing, that is .apk. .apk stand for Android Packaging Kit. So we can say it is a package, or it is a bundle of all of our code. Okay, so once we upload that, the other person can easily download from the Google Play Store. So if I talk about features of Android Studio, it is a flexible Gradle based. It provides us rich emulator for app testing. It provides us consolidated environment for all Android devices. Yes, apart from Java, it also supports C++, Kotlin, Flutter, okay, and NDK. NDK is native development kit, and it also provides the platform for Google Cloud Platform, and also provide us the integration with the GitHub, so that we can easily share our code with our fellows, so that they can also contribute in our project, or we can work collaboratively also. Okay, if the two students or group of students want to work on the same project, they can easily deploy or upload their code from Android Studio to the GitHub. So GitHub integration is possible in this Android Studio. So there are various windows like toolbar, navigation bar, editor window, tool window, status bar in this. So if I talk about what our app basically contains, which folders our app contain. First, I had talked about XML. That is the layout of our app. Layout means where our button will be placed, where will be the navigation drawer, where will be the spinner, where will be my autocomplete text view, where I put the drop down. So all layout is made in resource folder, RES. Resource means all the resources of our app. Okay, resources, labels, icons, images, audios, videos. Okay, all the resources of our app that are called resource or a RES folder. So inside our resource folder, we have a drawable, we have values, we have many files like string.xml, dimensions.xml, anim.xml. Okay, so basically all the layout, jitna bhi humne layout design, we want to design the layout of our app is done in the resource folder. Okay, so we can say the resource folder contain our XML layouts, UI user interface strings, designs, bitmap images, our icons, map, logos, strings, our animation, dimensions, colors, okay, our raw folder for audios and videos. So that is the resource folder, okay. All XML files are placed in the resource folder. All XML file means jitni bhi the screens, the layouts, as many layout files are there, as many there will be layout screens. Means the number of layout screens we want to develop, that will be equal to our number of XML files, okay. Like first screen is splash screen, we need to code for the splash screen in splash.xml. Next is the home, we must create the home.xml for designing our home tab, okay. And when we click on, suppose we are developing Gmail app, here there is a navigation bar, and if we click on the inbox, the new screen will open up, our inbox screen where our inbox messages will come, okay. So that is inbox.xml. So every screen has its own layout. For every screen we need to create one XML, that is extensible markup language, okay, because every screen has a different design. And for every XML we need to create corresponding Java file for providing the functionality, okay. For every, I repeat, for every layout file we need to create the Java file for the functionality, okay. So extension of XML file is .xml, extension of Java file is .java, okay. So first I have talked about RES folder, resource folder, that resource folder that contains all layout files, okay, that are placed in drawable, all map, the images, bitmap images, our raw folder for audios, videos, colors, strings, dimensions, animations, okay. Next is the Java folder. These will contain your source code files, that is the functionality files. What will happen if we click on the button? The functionalities are defined in the Java files, okay, that is .java file, okay. So basically the Java folder will contain your Java or Kotlin source code, okay. So this is a Java folder. The third one is the manifest folder. Manifest, it's also very important. Manifest folder is responsible for all permissions related to your app. Guys, we have seen, like, whenever we need install some app, for example, like we have installed the Zomato app. If we have installed, it will ask you about that this app needs location services, okay. You want to enable the location services in your phone, so the app needs the location services. Or there are some apps that require the permission of your camera, that require the permission of your internet, that can require the permission of your Bluetooth, that require the permission of your contacts, okay, that require the permission of your messages, wants to use your camera, okay. So all the permissions that are required by your app are given in manifest file, okay. The manifest folder contain Android manifest.xml file. This is the XML file only, but it will tell you about metadata of your app. Metadata means app, it will tell you about your app, that is on which version it is compatible. Guys, we have seen many times Like if we are installing some app, sometimes the app displays the message that this app is not compatible with our device. So what it means? This means that this app does not support the version of your mobile. Okay, suppose you are using Android version 10, okay, and the app is developed for Android version 11 or 12. So means this app is not compatible. So to set the version that your app will work best or your app will function on which version, that version is defined in manifest. That is minimum SDK version or target SDK version. That is defined in Android manifest.xml. One is the versions, second is your Android app name. What will be the name of your Android app? Okay, the name we have the guys, if you will notice the name of the app, generally the name of the app, the first letter is capital. WhatsApp W is capital, Gmail G is capital, Facebook F is capital, Twitter T is capital. So by default we take the first letter as capital and rest all are small, or depending upon the case that you have a second letter like WhatsApp W and A. Okay, so it tells Android manifest, you define the name of your app in Android manifest. Logo of your this icon or logo of your app. Icon is the icon that appears on the mobile screen, like when you touch on the icon, the your app will open. Okay, so the icon is basically in MIP map folder and it is declared in the Android manifest.xml. Okay, so it will tell you about your icon, the name of your app, the permissions you need to give. Okay, so it is also very important file. In the uses permission section we give like android.permission.internet. This app means this app requires this app will work online and it requires the internet service of your phone. Okay, if your phone's internet is on, then only this app will work. Or uses permission android.permission.camera means this app will require the camera services, or the apps like Zomato, Swiggy that require the location services. So we need to set in Android manifest.xml about the permission services, location services, Android permission location or internet services. Okay, so if I talk about an app manifest, that is the Android manifest.xml. So it will tell you about the Android build tools and essential information about your app. Okay, and Android manifest will tell you about, it will contain all the activities, all the services, broadcast receiver, content providers. Okay, so if I talk about activity and service, service is basically a background process. Okay, like we are listening a song and operating on the app also. So this means service is going. If we are downloading something, the downloading is going at back. Okay, if our system is getting updated and we are doing something else, so service is a background process and activity is a foreground process. Okay, so activity is like your splash screen, your home screen. Okay, and service is your you are listening of music, you are downloading something. So all the activities, services, broadcast receivers, they are declared in the manifest file. Okay, I have told you that there will be multiple XML files for your app. Means you have multiple layout screens. So corresponding to one layout screen there will be an XML, and corresponding to one XML there will be Java file for defining the functionality. There are many XML files, many Java files, but there is only one manifest file. Okay, you need to remember this. No manifest file, no other manifest file is created, and Android Studio creates one XML file, that is Android manifest.xml by default for you. Okay, Android Studio basically creates three files, default files. One is activity underscore main.xml for your layout file. Other layout files you can create on your own by right clicking on your resource folder. Okay, so all the layouts are made in resource folder. So activity underscore main is created by default by Android Studio. Main activity dot java is created by default by Android Studio. Okay, so this is for the functionality part, that is main activity dot java. And Android manifest.xml is also created by Android Studio, that is the one and only manifest file that is present. Okay, so if I talk, I was talking about manifest file, so I had told you there will be only one manifest file that will contain all the information of your app, that is the activities, the services, the number of services your apps have, the number of activities. Okay, so it will have the name of all Java classes, that is all your activities. Activity is a single screen interface, like splash screen is an activity, inbox is an activity, outbox is an activity. Single screen user interface is called an activity, and all the activities must be declared in the manifest file, so that your app must know that how many activities you have. And in Android manifest only, you need to declare which screen will run first, means which will be the launcher activity. Like if splash screen is my launcher activity, so I will be declaring splash as launcher, and the next activity is home screen will be my default. Okay, so the launcher activity need to be declared in the manifest file, that this will be the launcher screen or launcher activity. So it will tell us about, so the general code of manifest start with the manifest tag, and it contains application, next is the Android activity, Android name, then we have various activities. The permissions you set it in manifest file, the permissions regarding that your app needs the permission for your internet, the app needs the permission for your location, the app needs the permission for your camera, so that are set in the manifest in the uses permission tag. Okay, so yes, the permission name is case sensitive. You need to remember android.permission.internet is case sensitive, means it should be written in the capital letter. If you write it in small, your code will give the error. Case sensitive means sensitive to the case, means if it is uppercase, but if you change it into lowercase, your code will give error. So these permissions are case sensitive. The hardware and software features. The manifest file, in manifest file you declare what hardware and software you require for your app, means what version of your Android your app require for Android, means in which version it will run with error free. Okay, next is the hardware, like if your app required the keypad of your device. Okay, so you need to declare in the manifest that we need that permission of the keypad. Okay, if your app requires some Bluetooth like software of your phone, it will have to be mentioned. So it is mentioned in the uses permission tag. and uses SDK, that is minimum SDK version and target SDK version, in which your app will run error free or app will run smoothly. So that is defined in the uses SDK version. SDK is software development kit. Okay. So resource first, if I talk about, this is about manifest file, and there is only one manifest file in manifests folder. The name of the file is android manifest.xml, and it is also in XML, and the permissions are case sensitive. And this is tell about our app, that is the name of our app, the icon of our app, the versions, minimum SDK, target SDK, permissions that your app requires. Next is the resource folder. So resource folder will give, you need to declare or you need to provide the resources like images, audio, videos, strings, animations that are used in your app. So there inside resource folder we have drawable folder. Okay, so drawable folder will hold all the images of your app, images like icon images, your map images, your labels. Okay, so supported images are PNG, JPG, GIF image, BMP, WebP. Okay, so in this layout in the resource folder we have layout folder in which our layout is made of all the activities. Okay, so as I had told you, it will contain all the XML files, because if we talk about layout, the layouts are developed in XML, extensible markup language. So by default one layout file is created by the Android Studio, that is activity_main.xml. For creating more, we need to right click on the layout, new layout resource file, and we write the name, that is second.xml or third.xml or inbox.xml, outbox.xml, the layout files that we need for further development, that are created inside the layout folder, inside the resource folder, by right clicking on the layout, new layout resource file. And we refer these layout files in Java by r.layout. Our file name, that is activity_main or second, third. Okay, so all the layout files are declared in the corresponding Java files. Okay, by providing the resource.layout, r.layout. Next is the resource folder contains the raw folder. Okay, or we can create on our own also by right clicking on the resource and new Android resource directory. Resource directory is the folder in the resource. So raw folder will contain your audios and videos of your app. If you want to publish any video, if you want to showcase any video, like if we are developing the app for City University, if you want to show 360-degree view of City University, we can easily show in the raw folder that is present in the resource folder. So inside raw folder we can paste our audios and videos that and supported our MP4 format, MP3 format for audio, 3GP files, WebM, MKV. Okay, so if your raw folder is not present, you can create a raw folder by right clicking the resource folder and click new Android resource directory, name it raw, and paste your audio and video files. And you need to refer the raw folder in your Java file also by r.raw.your this file name for your video file name or audio file name. So if I talk about values folder resource, inside resource we have values folder also. Okay, so one is drawable, other is layout, other is values. Inside values we have 3 XMLs. One is color, second is styles, third is dimension. Color.xml will define all the colors that are used in your app. These can be in hex codes also, like hash 00000 or hash triple F00. There are various color codes that are available on the in the Google or on the Android developer.android.com, where you can declare the multiple colors for your apps, for your background design, for your if you want to color your logo, if you want to color your labels. So color.xml will contain all the colors that are used in your app. Styles, this will contain all the styling of your app. Dimension will contain all the dimensions that you are defining for your app, like any zigzag dimensions or any other rectangular text box dimension in which you want to put the text. Okay, so three basically essential colors are color primary dark, and color accent. These are by default colors, and you can use other color codes also, like I have told you, hash 55555 or white for white. You can use any other color code that are called hex codes, and you can refer to this color resources in XML by @color / the color name that you have defined in color.xml. I'm so sorry. So this is about the resource folder. Next is Java folder. Yes, Java folder for storing all your source code files that are developed in Java folder, means the functionality files. So Java folder will contain all your .java files corresponding to all the layouts file that you have made in the layout folder, in the resource folder. Corresponding to that, you have to make the functionality file. Like there is activity_main in the resource folder. You need to there is by default main activity.java in the Java folder. If you create home.xml, corresponding to home.xml there will be home.java. Second.xml there will be second.java. So corresponding to every layout file there will be a functionality file. So Java folder will contain all your functionality files, all your source code files. Okay, so by default main activity.java is created by the Android Studio, so we can take it as a first activity. Okay, and we can make it as a launcher in the Android manifest, so that main activity will load first, and after subsequently the other activities will go. So if I wind up this session, I can easily summarize that, guys, kindly start coding on Android Studio if you are if you want to have your career perspective in Android app development. Go for a Flutter language. Okay, so code is also readily available. You can also learn from your regular classes that are being taken in CTU University for mobile app development, for full stack development, and CTU University is providing free of cost full stack development course along with the regular course subjects. So basically this course, whether you go for Android or you go for the full stack web development, this course will boost your credibility, will add to your portfolio also that you have done this course. Okay, and increase your career aspects also and placement opportunities also. Okay, so go for this, guys, and start coding on the Android Studio. And nowadays you can build app for any screen sizes with the help of Flutter. Okay, whether so you can easily make beautiful UI for the mobile web and the iOS apps, okay, and desktop app from a single code base. Okay, that is with the help of Flutter. And thank you guys. Have a nice